Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And tonight, boom, goes the stock market today. Manipulation at its finest. You don't really think the wealthy's gonna let it fall. All they wanted to do was get rid of some of these weak hands out here. You guys already know it's not the time just yet. Let it fall? No. But you guys get in position by buying when it goes low. You should have been doing it over the last 3 or 4 days. Shame on you if you were not, but it's okay. There's other opportunities on the horizon, and welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. Stop struggling now, gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. Oh my, cool. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here. If you're going to chat with us tonight, make sure you know the chat room is open. Make sure you also let other people know about investments, buying assets, and alternatives because we are here to help. And a lot of Americans need help. People around the world need help. That's what we're going to talk about. But this boom today, 1,200 point swing on the upside. How could you have made money today? That should be your question. You were going to work. A lot of you, not all of you, a lot of you went to work while it was happening. And you were sitting there saying, well, I'm going to take my $20 an hour, $15 an hour, 30, 40, 50, $100 per hour, whatever it may be. Meanwhile, there's a whole nother financial situation right under your noses where people were making tens of thousands today because the stock market went boom. And how do you ask? Well, our financial system is complicated. But I want to welcome everybody here once again on the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream because this is awesome. We have new features with EV Mux, but it has nothing to do with you. But in the background, when I go to another page, it's sending me out where I can actually look at the screen. I love it. They're doing an independent console, almost like we're in a studio. I can't believe what I'm seeing right now, but this is pretty sweet. I want to welcome everybody to Instagram as well because you guys know you've been left out over the last few months. We had connection issues, but we're back. All right. So everybody else, make sure you hit those like buttons, the thumb buttons, the check boxes, the square boxes, the hearts, the stars, whatever it takes, because people need to know that they are sitting on a powder keg and wealth can be built right now. So remember, buy the dip. You should have done it. The Dow Jones went over 50,000 points for the first time. A huge rebound after all of the naysayers. You guys know we here have been counting down for 3 years. The countdown is not over. December 31st of this year, you need to have certain things in place. First things first, findhelp.org for everybody that needs help. Go to findhelp.org if you're in the United States and put in the zip code. You will find lots of services from nonprofit organizations that can help you, your family, your loved ones, your elderly, your brothers, your sisters, your aunts, your uncles, your great great grandparents. There is help there for everybody, even mental health and the upcoming a third of the population, literally not a third, but 30% of the population, which is, what do I keep saying? 30%. It's not third, okay? Elderly. Elderly population is a large percentage. And there are people right now that are going to have to deal with caregiving. That's at findhelp.org. It does get pricey if you need people to come in for rehab, if you don't have insurance. And not only rehab, but if you want somebody to try and help somebody that's incapacitated or has limited movement, maybe physical therapy, maybe a person can't get around, so you need nurses to come in. That is very, very pricey, ladies and gentlemen. Findhelp.org. Go check it out. Now, the other things. Let's get into this. Boom. That's right. I like to go boom because you know what happens. YouTube likes to give this thumbnail like this. Boom. All right. I'm pretty sure they're going to do it tonight too, but I never use it. But I just like to have it up there at least briefly for the hour before I put on the rightful thumbnail. But nonetheless, let's get to it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just think about what's been happening today. Today, you had every opportunity to make some moves. All right. Now, stocks or tech stocks, they are the chosen ones by the United States government because the United States government has nothing else. You're not going to beat the world with green energy because we have sidelined green energy. You're not going to beat the world with mass transportation for your citizens. The rest of the world is ahead of us. This is the last thing, pretty much, that we could actually be the leaders, but because of some situations 8 years ago when the president, who is now the president, made a fatal move for American citizens when he said, I don't want these other countries to have our Google, our software. You're going to get penalized if you sell our stuff to them. They were using our stuff. So when they restricted it and said, oh no, we're going to penalize you, Google, Apple, all you guys, if you give them software and information over to them. Well, see, here's how it works. If I have the software, I make the software and they use it, that is a good thing because I know what our software does. But when you turn around and say, sorry, we're not going to allow you to use it, they create their own software. Now they don't need to buy from us anymore. And now they're created their own software. And by the way, the EU also has said, I think it's a good idea if we don't actually hitch our wagons to just these guys. So keep in mind, the AI is going to spend $700 billion upcoming this year. 700 billion, just like we told you 3 years ago. They're still going to be buying back their shares of stock. They're going to be imploding, making sure that they use each other's companies to buy stuff and keep the money flowing until they can't. But that's why you have a deadline. You need to invest, ladies and gentlemen. The stock market's not going to go down anytime soon. Yes, it goes up, it goes down. There's volatility. If you missed our Wednesday night live stream, that's what it was about, volatility. It's like we foreshadowed what was going to happen. It keeps happening. There will be a day when all of a sudden it does crash and burn, but it's not that time just yet. The Federal Reserve has another meeting coming up in the next 60 days. I think they're going to reduce the rates, which ain't gonna help you, but it's going to help corporations. Your savings account will get lower, but okay, corporations, you win. All right, let's get to it, ladies and gentlemen. Also, if you have anything else to say, I want to know if Mr. Worldwide 2 is listening. I hope he is over there in DR. I want to know what he decided on this offer that the Galaxy gave him. Did he actually pay for the ocean view since they're making you pay? I was being kind of nice to them. I thought there was a developer that was pretty cool. I finally thought that there was going to be a developer that said, hey, we're late. You know what? We're going to give the people that bought in early, we're going to let you, maybe we'll move you up a floor or give you a special deal. Well, their special deal is just buy at the pre-construction first phase price. I'm like, okay, well, when you're years late, I don't consider that any big deal because I lost out on the stock market doubling twice, 3 times since you held my money. So My down payment money that I gave you, I could have quadrupled or 3x'd it. So I could have just bought cash for whatever I wanted anyhow. So now you're making me pay in today's money because yesterday's money is lower value because inflation has increased how much things cost. So it's a lot easier. This is why the United States doesn't care about its debt. And so, boom, goes the stock market. Why? You know, the Federal Reserve, when they reduce rates, do you know what that means, ladies and gentlemen? That means that these corporations, they can restructure their debt. You can't get 3.5% for 15 years interest only. You can't get that. You can't get 3.5% for 20 years interest only. These corporations can. I'm going to ask you something right now. Do you know what happens when home prices or the mortgage rate gets around 4.75, 4.5? For individuals, they start buying homes. I'm just saying, corporations, when the Federal Reserve gets down to 3.5, all of a sudden they start doing crazy stuff like they've announced right now with the AIs. We're going to spend $700 billion on AI. We are not going to make 700 billion, but we're damn sure going to spend it. Taxpayers, you're going to help us with subsidies, right? Now, taxpayers, you better start figuring out where you're going to get this extra streams of revenue. And I always say this every live stream now, I have no choice. You guys need help out here. 8 out of 10 people are living paycheck to paycheck during the month. At least on Wednesday night, we had an OC, an ordinary citizen, who was truthful. He says, man, I'm drowning in debt. I'm scared. I don't know what to do. He's like, the norm now. Prices are rising. Anybody get their gas bill lately? Their energy bills lately? We're subsidizing the world. Congratulations. This is what you voted for. I mean, some of you voted for. Some of us did not because we knew it was going to happen. But nonetheless, all of us are paying for it. That's right. In case you guys did not know, when they're talking about some of these trade deals, what they're actually saying is they're taking some of our natural gas that is used for heating most of the time and giving it to other countries. Yes. So therefore, you will be paying higher prices every year for the next 3 years. Oh, yeah. Uh, my God. And there's no way to stop it unless you're going to freeze to death or go move to some warmer climate. Okay, the stock market's still going to go boom because 93% of the stock market is owned by the top 10% of the wealthiest. So it has nothing to do with the higher prices for you and me. These guys are just like sitting there. You know what they're doing right now? They done pop bottles of champagne. That's what they've been doing all day. You guys have been out here going to work while these guys and some of us who actually trade in the stock market have a big smile on our face. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. So your stock market trading allows when this boom occurs, you can take advantage. Just like you could have taken advantage when it went down. You win on the way down, you can win on the way up. Why not? The financial institutions are using your money to do it. Why don't you use your own money to do it? At least learn, at least study, at least do like a side hobby and study. All right. Now, I even have a special thing tonight. There we go. I'm celebrating too. Once again, you guys, you're working your behinds off. You have to figure out where you're going to get this passive income, where you're going to get some income while you're working, additional income. Inflation is not 3%, 4%, 5%, 8%, 7%, 10%. It's higher. All right. The stock market going boom. We need you guys. If you haven't started already, I need you guys to download the software. In app, get Robinhood, get Webull, get whoever. They give you a few free stocks. So why not? All right, I'm going to put this down in the chat room. And also, some of you say, Eric, I don't like the stock market. I just give my money to a 401k. Okay, well, keep doing it. Keep doing it. Okay, I'm not going to be mad at you. I'm not going to be mad at you. Oh, I did it again. Nope, we got it. Wealthfront. Okay, in the chat room right now, I just put in there some things that you guys might want to see. All right, you can download these apps, get your free shares of stock. Robinhood's the only one. When you download the app, they'll give you a free share of stock. Webull and Moomoo, they want you to deposit. And Moomoo, you have to deposit $100 or more, and then they'll give you your free shares of stock in 60 days. So you have to keep the $100 or more in the account. Whether you buy stocks or whatever, you got to keep it above that. Webull, they also want you to deposit. It depends. Sometimes it's 50, sometimes it's 100, sometimes it's $1. But just if you're going to invest, just deposit like $100, $150. And then what are you going to invest in is the multi-million-dollar question. What did I tell you guys? Oh man, you guys know I love the real estate investment trust, because when the stock market goes boom, and then when you can actually also get 13% to 18 to 19% return every year, beating out 401ks most of the time. No, all of the time. Because let me know if anybody has a 401k that earned above 11% last year. In fact, we'll do it this way. Who has earned above 10% this year? All right. That's what I want to know. Who's earned above 10%? Okay. That's what I want to know. Uh-oh. Hold on a second. I have a situation that I need to deal with. Okay, I'll pin the comment in some location. It's all good. All right. Now, with that said, I lost my train of thought because I'm doing three screens at once. I'm acting like I have a studio right here while I'm doing the live stream. This is funny, but I love it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now, let's get into the boom part, because $50,000 for the Dow Jones. Okay? But I want to tell you something about the AIs. This is what I want you to be cautious about with techs, the AI stocks. It's because just what the headline says in CNBC, I'm looking at it right now, may approach 700 billion this year, but the blow to cash raises red flags. OpenAI would have already been out of business if people did not invest in them. So they're doing a self-fulfilling prophecy to keep these guys afloat, knowing they make zero money, costing billions of dollars, but they're willing to keep it afloat. This is almost how Microsoft saved Apple in the 1990s when they were going broke the first time. And Bill Gates said, "Oh, let me come save you, because I don't think it's right that we should only have one company survive, and then there where we never have any competition." So therefore, as it turns out, that was one of the best decisions, because the Microsoft and Apple together have become tremendous corporations. When Microsoft could have taken over Apple or let them just go by the wayside, and this would be a whole different landscape right now. But this is what they're trying to do again. They're trying to save as many people, just like Tesla is buying XAI or something of that nature, doing crazy stuff with that, because they don't make money, ladies and gentlemen. That means there's going to be more volatility. If you sit on the sidelines and keep sitting on the sidelines without taking a little bit of risk, then you are going to get swamped. Just like right now, where people are finding out when they open their energy bills, they're crying. They're like, this cannot be right now. This is like double. This is like $800. What are we talking about right now? You have 30 days to pay your bill or you're shut off. And it's cold outside. Baby, it's cold outside. And people die. So once again, you better figure out where you're going to get extra revenue from. So what do I say? I say, hey guys, this is why I started talking about trading about six months ago. 4 months I was studying it, but this is mandatory at this point. You cannot rely on your job to say, hey, just because your energy bills doubled, that we're going to somehow give you extra money, bonus money. Like, what? Come on, let's stop playing out here. So when this market goes boom and you're sitting on the sidelines, don't know nothing about it unless you watch the news or something where they say, oh, all-time record highs on the stock market, and you're thinking the economy is good. Or some people try to use that as the economy is good. In fact, it's not good. Only certain sectors are great. And there's a whole bunch of other sectors that are bad. And sooner or later, when those good sectors are no longer good, there's nobody else coming to save you. There's no green energy companies coming to save you under this administration. So that's out. Forget about it. So now losing manufacturing jobs is all that's going to happen because the rest of the world is not going to buy from us. So now it's just a self-fulfilling prophecy on our own markets. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Sooner or later, the cutoff happens. December 31st, you better have bank account outside the USA. You better have real estate or business outside the USA already ready to go. Those are the things that you better do, and you better have a credit score of 775. The reason I say that is because I want you to have special offers, almost like a corporation as an individual. I want you to have that 0% for 36 months at least. Hell, they might even go to 48 because they're going to need the people that pay to actually get the better credit. The people that don't pay, they're going to give them credit too, but they're going to have 30%, 35%, 25% interest on anything that you overlap that you don't pay off. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to be able to get all kind of stuff. But remember, it costs a lot of money when you have 580, 550, 400 credit. You pay extra. So boom goes the stock market. But are you going to be joining in? Well, let's find out. First things first, I got to go see something real quick. I forgot about something. Might not be able to do this. Hold on a second. I got to check. Might have to wait till another day or after. Let's see here. Okay, good. The Candlestick Bible. This is the trading Candlestick Bible, Candlestick Trading Bible, the stock market trading Bible. All right. This just gets your feet wet. You can study. There's YouTube channels. There's people all over the place selling the picks, the axes, because there's gold in them there hills, ladies and gentlemen. So what's happening? People are selling the picks, the axes, the tools, because that's not as risky as if you're on the stock market, because there's a lot of people who are betting that the stock market would continue to go down today. Well, that wouldn't have been a bad bet, but you should understand technicals a little bit. That would help you out. So there's the Candlestick Bible. It's 168 pages. I've only got up to 120. But when there's a run up like this was a no-brainer. Just sit and watch. This doesn't happen too often, but this volatility is going to keep happening all over the place. It's not just going to be the stock market. It's not stock market has different indexes. The index Dow, poof, but all of them went up. No problem. What about gold? What about silver, which was a hot commodity a week or so back? What about Bitcoin? It dropped into the 60s. That's right. I don't even know what it ended up being right now. Is it around 65 or something? Why don't we go look? I want to see. All right. I want to see about this, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go look real quick. I didn't check today because it wasn't relative. It wasn't relevant at all. Everything else was relevant. Let's see what crypto did traditionally. Bitcoin rebounds back above 70,000, but breaking below 60,000 a day ago. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you should have gotten your dollar cost average. By the way, did I not say on Monday that the percentage isn't there yet? The only reason I said that traditionally they go below 50%. So guess what happened? 125, half of that is 62.5. So when it went below 62.5, that is traditionally how it goes. When it dropped from 43,000, I believe, last time this happened, and it went down to 17 something or 16 something, that's 50% plus a little bit. And then all of a sudden, it started climbing back. You should expect the same. And you should be getting, if you paid above 75 grand, then you should have been buying to reduce your dollar cost average. When it went into the 60s, you should have been buying for your dollar cost average. On Wednesday, I was sitting here when it was at 70 something. I said, oh, I'm buying some more while I was doing the live stream. Wealth, ladies and gentlemen, is going to go boom. Inflation is coming. It's going to continue to come. Guess what? It inflates assets. Can you believe I'm sitting here and there's a community that 25 years ago, 2,050 square foot, 2 bedroom, 3 bath homes. Are you listening? Cost roughly around $250,000 in an upscale neighborhood that was going to be built. They distributed around on the back page. It shows the homes that are for sale. A few people advertise on the back page for the community. My eyes went because just what I described, somebody put theirs up for $830,000. You heard me correctly, for 2,050 square feet. $830,000. I was like, this is out of control. Why is somebody going to do this? Well, it's very simple. This is not an asset, but it does generate money when they reduce interest rates, which has not happened yet. But these corporations can borrow at 3.5% interest only for 15 years. So what are they going to do? They're going to give people special deals. They'll say, we'll give you a buy down. Since they can borrow at 3.5, they'll say you can have a loan for 5.75, 5.5. Because now you're just going to pay their 2.5 or 2%. So they arbitrage you. They have the paper. Win-win for them. L for you because it's a liability. Who doesn't make it a liability? Well, the people that bought 20 years ago that now can apparently sell their properties for over 800K that they bought for 250. That's how you build wealth. Well, guess what happened? It skips a generation because now the average age to buy a home is 40 years old. It's no longer when I was growing up. I was 21, 22 buying homes. But nowadays, you don't make enough because now you literally have to make 5 times what I used to make in order to afford a regular home. That is insane when you think about it. So, in other words, I used to make 40 G's a year. Mortgage was only 400 or 500 bucks. Insurance, 1,750 a year. I mean, call it a day. So you had plenty of money left over to buy other assets. Clearly, that's not the same now. because now you have to make $150,000 just to buy a $450,000 home and not have any other debt. So when the market goes boom and you're out here struggling, you could also be part of the market. So that's where I put the Candlestick Bible in the chat room. All right. So let's go. Let's see. We have someone in the house tonight. Another investor is here. Mr. Dividend is here. Brian P. Welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. And he brings his tagline this evening. Happy day, Eric. I hope all is well with you and your family. Yes, things are all going good. Happy day, SSN family. Smash that like button. He gave it a one piece. Thank you so much. And I want everybody else to give it a one piece. We are making money in here. And notice I said this is Mr. Dividend, ladies and gentlemen. He's in the house. So, yes, that's what we do. We try to make sure that you know what to do. And by the way, I knew he's going to say this. Check out your emails. You know I check the emails, man. This is crazy. This is what's funny. I used to eat the one thing was M&Ms. The almonds, the big ones. And the bags used to cost like $9.99, $8.99, right? Them same bags now are 16, 17 bucks, double. I mean, this is crazy. But nonetheless, they're bad for you. The chemicals they use for the coloring, banned in most countries. In other words, when you leave outside the United States and you go get an M&M bag, traditionally, if you go to the EU or a first world country, they ban those substances. So it tastes different. And you'll notice because we have all the sweeteners, the sugars, and all that stuff in there, they don't. And they don't have the artificial stuff. So they taste different. But now this has happened. FDA announces recall of repackaged M&Ms, ladies and gentlemen. This is not good. In 20 states. I'm going to put this in the chat room because this is going to be your wealth is your health, ladies and gentlemen. All right? Your health is wealth. If you don't get on top of this, you are going to be in trouble in a year or two or 5 or 10 or 20. And there is nobody that can afford healthcare right now. All right? Only the rich can. Mo Better's in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. Another investor's in the house. Mo Better's here. He says, what's up, SSN Nation? What's up, E? We in the building. You're damn right. We in the building. You know I had to smash that like button on the way in. That's right. Give it a one piece, ladies and gentlemen. I love it. Boys and girls, you guys, make sure you understand what you're doing. And by the way, since Mo is here, I got to talk about something. Yeah, he knows what I'm going to talk about. You guys, the Trump, the Trump accounts. A 530, ladies and gentlemen. Do not fall for this. And first of all, it's nothing that $500, $250, $1,000 is not going to help you at 8% or 9% or 6%. I'm sorry. That's not even going to beat inflation. But that's not the worst part. The worst part is IRA. Okay, go check your tax professionals. Do not get an IRA, please. Okay, don't do this. You know why? Because when that thing goes boom, it's going to be treated as ordinary income. If it went boom, but it won't. But I'm just saying. Because you can actually add to it a certain amount per year, just like a normal IRA. But it's not a Roth IRA where you're tax deferred. No, it's treated as ordinary income. So if you are one of these parents that says, yeah, let me put in $3,000, $4,000 a year. And then by the time they're 18, or shall I say, yeah, by the time they're 18 and they have 100 G's in the account, Oh, sorry, 150 G's in the account because of inflation and because of interest and all that. Then you wake up and you're like, hey, I put in 1,000. No, sorry. I put in 100,000. And they say, yes, it's worth 150. I want to cash out. The kid's 18. They get a good start. They're like, hold on, sir. It's ordinary income, sir. It's not tax deferred. Wait, what? Sir, you should have opened a Roth IRA for your kid back then. Then it would be tax free. What were you smoking? Who were you listening to? I had to say this. All right, Mo, I had to tease you, man. I had to tease you. All right. But no, I'm not teasing. I'm serious. It's a 530. You don't get a tax deferment. It's basically whatever is earned in that account is going to me, whatever the tax code is 15 years from now. And I don't wish that upon anybody because we already know the United States is broke. They're going to tax the ordinary citizens more money. So just saying, be careful out there. All right, I put it down below in the chat room, the recall for the M&Ms, which I did not go over because in 20 states it's a recall. And from food. It does happen. So it's not actually the already bad chemicals in the thing. They're talking about because the package doesn't say this. The package should say this causes cancer from using these bad chemicals. That's what it should say on there, but it does not because they want you at the hospital to siphon more of your money up to the insurance companies, Medicare, Medicaid, whoever controls those. All right. Um, Candies contain in the following promotional labels. Next up, Smith Pro, Jacksport, Jacksonville Port Authority. Jesus, it's a bunch. I put in the chat room, ladies and gentlemen. It says 20 states: Alabama, Arizona, California, Florida, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Maryland, Massachusetts, Minnesota, New York, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Virginia, Washington, and Wisconsin. Those are the 20. Beacon Promotions issued a recall on M&M candies because of the promotional package. So I don't know what the promotional package is. Mo, I see you calling, man. I can't answer. I'm on the live. Um, anyhow, uh, uh, I just had to mess with you on that. All right, check your emails. Yeah, man. Mo is in the house. Hey Mo, while you're here, I want to know about something. Who was that one that has a $10,000 discount? I don't know that property. I saw it's inside Vistacana. It doesn't look like it's in a gated community. And so I don't know which property this was. Was this like the towers? Because the towers is not inside the gates. And most of the projects inside the gates had a security gate to get into their project inside Vistacana. So let me know. I want to know. EV Place, welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night live stream. Another investor is here, ladies and gentlemen, and he's done the SSN Nation program well before he found the SSN Nation. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Bought property outside of America, out of U.S. jurisdiction, has a bank account outside of U.S. jurisdiction, credit score 775. He's going to get there. He's close. He might be there already. He's already met the three criteria. He's put himself in position to get that 0% big boom card that's going to be for 36 months. There's one for 24 right now. There's several. But we want you guys to have that 36, 3 years, because 3 years is a long time to pay 0%. Just saying, that's what you want. Can you imagine right now for all of you who have your credit card debt, if it said 0% for 2 years? So basically, 95 to 99% of what you put down and pay monthly goes to your principal. So even if it was just the minimum, it goes to your principal. Not a third, not a tenth goes towards your principal. That is worth gold. Now, some of you may be saying, just like somebody said on Friday, all right, I'm not sure what project that was, but it was in Vistacana. I wish I knew. Well, how did you find out about the $10,000 discount? That's what I want. Or were you just saying it's a 10,000 discount? Or you don't know because it was 115. 115, whether it's a studio or whether it's a one bedroom, that is one hell of a price to be inside Vistacana. Well, I don't really like a studio, but because they make them small, they make them like hotel rooms, 350 square feet or thereabouts. You need at least five. Well, that's a whole nother story, but we'll get into it. Real estate, 550 is what you need, and you need a half bath or a second. You need a basically 1.5 baths or 2 bathrooms if you're going to have a one bedroom. Well, the only reason I say that is because I always look at it as renting out. All right. Those are the preferred choices. People love those. Just like a 2 bedroom should have 2.5 baths or 3 bathrooms. That's how you should do it. Okay. That goes a long way. When couples and people come, nobody wants to share just one bathroom, just so you know. All right. So here's the deal. Oh, it was listed. Okay. Something popped up. Urban Group. Okay. I'm banned from Urban Group. I'll ask the agent. He's from Urban Group. Okay. All right. Good. But back to EV Place. Welcome again to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night live stream. And I humbly appreciate you being a member of the channel. Thank you so much for that. Good evening, everyone. Happy Friday. Smash that like button. That's right. So he's already done what you need to do by December 31st. We started this countdown 3 years ago, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just saying. Get your place, set it up. You're the CEO of your life. You're also an emerging millionaire. You're going to have to be because the way things are going, you're going to have to make like six figures, 150 to 200K if you want to start making things happen out here. All right. I'm not sure what project that was, but it was in Vistacana. Okay, I skipped something I see. Okay, it was listed at 125 and slashed to 115K. Okay, so you do know it was 125, but what size unit? So clearly that can't be a studio, right? Would better not be. It has to be a one bedroom, and it didn't seem like it was in a gated environment. So that just looks like a random. Was that if it was the towers, that would make sense because towers were 89, 90,000 5, 6 years ago. So it would make sense if that would be a one bedroom at the towers. But it said in Vistacana though, so it can't be the towers. The towers are outside the gates of Vistacana. It's more by the shopping center. So you didn't like the 115? Well, let me know what size unit it is. Then we can determine. Because if it's a studio, then that ain't even. It's on the photo I sent you on WhatsApp. No, it doesn't say. Hold on. Maybe I didn't. Wait, did I miss it? It didn't say the size of the unit. Hold on. Let me see. Let me go look. Oh, hold on. Maybe it did. Let me get a better look. I just saw 115.5. Okay, let's see. It says one habitation. I think this is towers. No, it's not towers. It also doesn't look like it has. I can't really tell by this. Okay, one bedroom. Yeah, 115. Wait, that's a good deal, man. I mean, can I get 115 a night? Wait, hold on, Mo. This could be major. Is this already built? It doesn't even say who it is. Uh, no, it doesn't even. Yeah, it crossed out the 125. So they did drop it 10 grand. So who is this? It looks like it almost looks like it's a it almost looks like it's at Panorama Lake, but I don't think it is because Panorama Lake is behind gates. This looks like people are driving by on a main street. And also, is this already built or is this pre-construction? Because you know right now I'm not effing with that. It's on the photo I sent you. WhatsApp. Okay. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Okay. I don't think it was the towers. It's only 4 stories. Exactly. That's what I noticed. It's not behind, it's not towers. That's exactly right, because it's not even configured like the towers. This looks just like a little apartment complex inside, which I still don't mind, especially for what I'm doing. Um, if I'm gonna buy there, but I do like a 1 bedroom for 115. And you are right, Mo, because remember the 1 bedroom by the lake was 124.5. Yes, so prices are starting to come down. All right, this is Dominican Republic, Punta Cana project, pre-construction, no credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry. The pre-construction is over. I mean, okay, hold on. I better reiterate for everybody that watches, pre-construction is not over. What I'm trying to say is it's over for you. All right. SSN Nation members, do not buy pre-construction right now. There's a reason. If you missed my video about a week and a half, almost 2 weeks ago, where I talked about Dominican Republic and investing, there's a problem. The problem is there's way too many units that's available on the open market, and a lot of people are going to be losing money to own there. Now, some people are going to say crazy stuff. I know there's a famous YouTuber out here that shills. I'm calling it shilling now because I rarely hear any bad things come out of his mouth. But the point is, some people will say, I don't care about making money. I care about the appreciation. Okay. Well, I'm like, why would you not do both? So, the key here is, ladies and gentlemen, you need to buy low and you don't want to lose money while you own, period. Because let's just keep things real. If you tell me, Eric, I'm going to lose like $4,000 a year for 5 years, I'm just saying that's 20, 30 G's plus the headaches. Instead, I can just wait and see the fallout, like what's happening right now, because there's an oversupply of units coming onto the market, and there's a lot of people who won't be making money. So those people are going to be like, let me out. And now you have potentially, hey, Mo, is this a pre construction project or is it done? Now you have even pre construction companies reducing prices after they've raised prices for the second, third, and fourth phases. And they're sitting there like, oh my God, I can't sell these. I might as well just reduce the prices, make people offers. All right. But this has to go with the boom. You know why it goes with the boom? Because the wealthy aren't going to be buying these. The wealthy are going to buy in upscale luxury locations. Where they buy something, it's going to go up because that's where all the rich people live. And they do their own self-fulfilling prophecy because they don't care if the place sits empty. They have enough money that they don't care if they pay $25,000, $35,000 a year to let it sit because they make enough money. But you, 8 out of 10 of you Americans in the United States and 8.5 out of 10 Canadians, I'm sorry, you guys are not even in the same boat. So you can't do these crazy things because upscale luxury locations appreciate faster and higher. Just keep that in mind. That's why when the impending crash occurs, let's just get ahead of the curve in 2027, 2028. When there's an inevitable housing crash, you should be scouring for that upscale luxury home that is going to be 30, 40, 50% off. Because when things come back, Those are the ones that appreciate the most. So if you own, example, you say, well, Eric, I bought a $400,000 house because it used to be 800. Great. But the person that's going to buy the $800,000 house because it used to be 1.6, when housing prices go up, think about something 20%. You go, hey, my house is worth 480. The other person goes, my house is worth 960. That's $160,000 that you will be able to extract and use to invest. Just saying. Just saying. All right. So, and remember, interest rates will be low. It's going to happen in the US. It's going to happen all over the world. There's going to be a crisis with prices dropping for homes. And the reason why they're not going to allow it, they're trying to figure out what to do right now. Well, they're doing it. They're going to allow anybody breathing to get a loan. If you guys miss our Wednesday night live stream, then you guys know there's already reports out here where they're saying we're going to do lower rates for people that have a under 620 credit score to get a house, to get a loan. It's already in stone. The wealth is going to build, and you can't sit on the sidelines once again, ladies and gentlemen. That's free money. When home prices advance, that's free money, even though it's a liability. Because in America, they don't just go up 1, 2, 3% a year. We're talking about 20%, 10%, 30%. Who wouldn't like 30 to 40% within 2 years on the home they buy? Let's get real. The average home is $429,000. If that house goes up 30% over, let's just say 2.5, 3 years, that's 120,000, 560, $550,000. And then 5 years, 5 year total, you start going 630, 650, 670. Now all of a sudden you can start making moves. You can act like the big boys. I have AUM, assets under management, is your house. It turns into a commercial property at that point. Because now you're going to go down and say, HELOC, I need that 2.5%, 2.7% interest so I can go invest in something. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. Hopefully that is it. All right, for 400K, I bought 4.5 properties. There you go. EV Place. Also, thank you so much for mentioning that, because we have people right now that don't understand the situation. Put in that link. Oh, you can't put in the link. Put in the name of that REO bank again, where people can actually go and find out where to get these cheap investment properties that you may have to fix up a little bit. But I'm just saying, it's out here already, ladies and gentlemen. EV Place has been taking very, very good care of it. He's been handling biz. Recall alert. FDA recalls turmeric supplements sold in 30 states over mold contamination. Oh my God. This goes into the shake situation. This is pitiful. Very, very pitiful, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness. He's going to make me do it. He's going to keep making me do it. We got the M&Ms. Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo denies Santa Clara County, California homeowners $28,000 refund after check altered in cash by mail thieves. Are you kidding me? That says they denied it. Okay, first of all, you nut guys already know what I'm going to say. I've been telling you guys for 6 years, do not bank with Wells Fargo. Do not bank with Bank of America. They've stolen U.S. Bank. I've said this for 6 years. This is no surprise. This is no shock that they would not give you your money. Like I said, this is their MO. But see, once again, we live in a different era. There's social media, there's TV, whatever. Wells Fargo denies 28K refund after check altered, cash by mail thieves. They don't give a damn, like I said. Kathy Pham of San Jose was surprised to get a delinquency notice in the mail saying she never paid her property taxes. She thought, sure she did. I thought, oh my gosh, hold on a second. I can't go across this that fast. I mean, that slow. Hold on a second. Did you guys not see? Hold on. Where's this at right now? Hold on. Oh man, I got too excited. Hold on a second. Hold on. Kathy Pham of San Jose was surprised to get a delinquency notice in the mail saying she never paid her property taxes. She lives in San Jose. There's a lot of homes in San Jose that are worth 1.3, 1.5, 1.6 million dollars. California property taxes are roughly what, 1.3%. So you can start doing the math after that, right? Okay. In fact, her bank statement showed that the check had cleared months ago. Okay, I said, I'm going to the county Monday and I'm going to tell them, hey, you cash my check. And then my husband said, hey, let's look at the check. And that's when I almost fell over. The check image showed a very different check than the one Pham wrote. Criminals had stolen it from the mall, then used a pen to squeeze letters between the ones Pham wrote to form a new name. They kind of fit their name into those letters, Pham said. The person cashed her check, making off with her 2,400. Okay, so where's the 28? Not only did I have to pay the property tax again, I paid like all that late fee, she said. Pham went right down to Wells Fargo. Surely her bank would refund her money. They denied it because I waited too long. That's right. By the way, 90 days, 60 days. That's generally it. But where's the 28? Do they mean 24,000? Because they just said 2,400. There's no way our property taxes cost 2,400. Sorry. That's not even a thing anymore. Okay, the thief took nearly $28,000. And the couple still had to pay their property taxes plus penalties another 30,000. And so now we're out, 60,000. This is very true. Once again, another reason I say do not keep your money in the freaking bank. Okay, simple. Stop. Please stop doing this. I know people are going to say, Eric, I use it. I'm like, man, don't even play out here. Don't even play. They're not going to get their money back. Within 30 days, got automated. That's effed up. A forged item, and they're saying F you. Like I always said, there you go. Don't F with them. There we go. Castle Rock REO, ladies and gentlemen. We actually looked at this before. I'm going to go pull this up because I think this is very, very powerful in this day and age. Right? We were looking, now it is REO, real estate investment owned. Castle Rock REOs, 10,000 homes. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm laughing, but there's going to be a lot of homes that's going to be on the market from defaults, foreclosures. They're up, by the way, higher than last year, and they're going to continue to rise. 50,000 people just got laid off between UPS and Amazon. There's no jobs for them to get what they're getting paid at those two corporations. So now you're going to have, how many of those 50,000 homes are going to be in foreclosure in about 6 months? Especially 8 out of 10 of those people are living paycheck to paycheck. So there's easily going to be, what, 2,000, 3,000 homes minimum? Easily. All right. I bought my house in MA with the land for $40K in 2019. It's around $300K. Man, who wants to live in Massachusetts? I'm just messing with you. Massachusetts, where they have health care for their citizens by the state. I know. Is that cool or what? And by the way, Massachusetts, which for colleges, I believe they're still ranked number one. Actually, Massachusetts has a lot going for it, which is kind of wild that it's in the Northeast of all places. Why couldn't it have been in a warmer climate place? Please. But my God, way to go, Massachusetts, with helping your citizens when the government won't. All right, the Truth Trail. Welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. He's here for the boom, and he's getting the boom because he was investing in some crypto called VDR, and I humbly appreciate the donation this evening. Thank you so much again, man. Pear character doing a shaka dance, saying cool. Hey, man, I got to figure out why this keeps giving me these when it should give me the character, but I love it. Thank you so much, man. Again, very happy to see you in the house again. All right, what's good, man? And VDR went up to like 16. It's at 7.6 now. Oh my goodness. I ain't buying no more. I ain't buying more now. I'll wait till it goes lower, but it has to hold. And how come you're not selling? Didn't you buy it like 0.002 or something? I mean, that's not enough for you. I mean, what are we saying right now? What are we doing? What are you out here doing? You got to sell some of it, right? At least to get back your original investment, right? And a little more. Because the 0.002, you got a lot of this stuff. Congratulations. And at least you warned others that they could have gotten in over the past 4 or 5 days. So I love that factor as well, trying to help OCs. Some people can go do their own research because it was boom with crypto too, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So there's different ways that you can make this work. It's cooling off now. It's been running like 8 days now. Okay. Well, it's got to cool off sooner or later if they have real assets or not. All right. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. The stock market manipulation continues and it's not going to stop. No matter what happens with the economy, it's still gonna keep going boom. No matter what happens, if the top 8 corporations make a little bit of profit on the biggest thing since automobile industry, AI, it doesn't matter. It's gonna go up. Oracle going out of business potentially because they're doing crazy. MicroStrategy buying Bitcoin, but luckily for them, it didn't go down to 50. I mean, a lot of people were going to have to hit the eject button if crypto would have went down to 50,000. That's what I'm referring to. But again, it went back to 70 something. I don't even know what it's sitting at right now. Let me see where this stalled at. It's saying 75, right? Let's go see. Where is it at? Okay, you guys taking your sweet time here. Okay, and speaking of that, toasting to everybody today if you were doing trading. All right, let's see. 70,000 right now. So, and ETH is at 2,071. All good. All good. And also, if you're still into YieldMax ETFs, I don't know how you can be, but if you are, congratulations, you got dividends on Friday, which is today. So you did all right. Okay. Castle Rock, ladies and gentlemen. Castle Rock. Let's go. You guys know I like getting into this because boom goes the stock market, but boom goes the home market as well. So now is the time when you say, hey, maybe I have to buy low. Well, there's certain locations where you can buy low. Courtesy. I got to add this actually. I got to add this. Wait, where is it? Uh-oh. Is this it? Oh, okay. No wonder. It just says home. Okay. I'm putting it here, ladies. Oh, wait. Let me do another thing. I'm going to put I'm going to put castlerock.com in the chat room. Everybody that watches this on replay, it'll be there. I already put it in, but I didn't click on it. Okay. BTC touched 59.9, but I didn't get in on the 59.9. I only got in on the 65 or 64. Something like it was somewhere in there. I didn't really care. I saw 6 something. I was like, okay, let's get some more then. Because we know what's going to happen, right? We know what's going to happen. Or we should know, right? It almost, if it hit the 50s, that gets us below half from the 125 number. 62.5. It had to go below that. Traditionally, it climbs back up. I'm not saying it's going to go to 125, but it climbs back up. So anybody whose dollar cost average is below 60, you win tremendously. Even if your dollar cost average is 75 or 80, you're still going to win. But the point is, if it's closer to 60 and below, then you're in gravy train. And when it goes past 126 sometime in the next 8 9 months, then you're really going to be happy. Double and a half. Who wouldn't love that, right? So, again, ladies and gentlemen, that's what you want to do. Thank you so much for that. Okay, here we go. Let's get this in here because we do a lot of things here. We want you to succeed. And one way you can succeed is buying real estate owned. All right, where you can get it cheaper. So, check this out. When the stock market goes boom, you got to go and check it out. Real estate investment trusts, go check those out. I'll give you some ARR, AGNC, PSEC, high risk, high rewards, IVR. Just saying a few. NLY. Okay, there's a lot. M, oh, MFA, I think it is. Just to name something offshoot that I normally don't talk about. Um, those are real estate investment trusts because they can refinance. All right, 70K. Yep, thank you, the truth. All right, Castle Rock. There you go. That's it. That's what you see on the screen. This is where I'm at right now. Now, where should we go? Oh, wait a minute. Where should we go? Let me see something real quick. Do you guys see? No, you don't see that on the screen, do you? Okay, it put it up there for me. I love it. That's pretty sweet. Okay, here we go. We got something in Pritchard, Alabama. This looks like a rundown joint. 32,900 for a 1,600 square foot, 3 bedroom, 2 bath. Okay, yeah. Well, not going to Alabama. Here go. Oh wait, What's this? Cali? There's something in Cali out in the backwoods. Something in Station, California. I don't even know where that is. Geesh. Okay. That's interesting. 2 bedroom, 2 bath, 1,300 square feet, 124 grand. Okay, whatever. Hey, there's a lot of places here. Even Hawaii? Okay, I thought that would have been too good to be true. Indiana, I would suspect nothing there. Let's go up to the Northeast. Massachusetts, nothing. How about Nebraska? Mutual of Omaha. Nevada. Okay, not that many spots, but Pennsylvania, yep, 29.9 for an old pad in some place called Mahoopany. Okay, that's cute. And another one, 2 bedroom, 1 bath, 35 grand in Webster. No, that's not Webster. Route 906 E Webster. Yeah, I guess it is a place called Webster. So anyhow, this is where you can go, ladies and gentlemen. You can do your own, but these are real estate that you probably need to do some rehab. Just saying. So just keep that in mind, all right? You're going to need some rehab. That's the point of it. So when the stock market goes boom, it's a good thing because that means people get to use some of their profits to buy something else. And that's why you need to be in the stock market. And also, I started giving you guys the Candlestick Bible. Okay, in this cycle, BTC went down as expected, but alts haven't gone up at the same time like in past cycles. Exactly, EV Place. That's because there's not people. See, the problem is after people have seen this over the last 10 years or more, they've seen that that's what generally happens. Then the altcoins generally tumble. So more people are sticking with ETH, BTC, stablecoin type things, is my opinion. Now we have the truth who's going with the VDRs, two different ones that he potentially is going to make thousands of dollars because he bought VDR at a very low price. So, but that's going to happen. It's a pump and dump is the thing with crypto. So, we're going to have another 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 crypto that goes default. But nonetheless, when the stock market goes boom, that's good for everybody because that means people are making money. Now, the problem is 8 out of 10 people may not be. And so the top 20% are the ones making the money, and there is no such thing as trickle down. So you better figure out how you're going to get a piece of the pie. And one way is if you learn how to trade, is my opinion. Now, it takes a while to get going if you don't know anything like me. But when the market's this volatile and you can actually put yourself in positions with the volatility, my goodness. Today, this whole week was a good week. So again, time to learn. That's why I had the Candlestick Bible, Trading Bible. That's why I have it on tap. You can go to the stopstrugglingnow.com website, or you can use the link in the chat room. I'm the only one that can leave links in the chat room, just so everybody knows. That's why you don't see it everywhere else. All right. So nobody else can put links, just so you guys understand. I'm the only one. So, Candlestick Bible for everybody out here, just so you guys understand. No problems. All right. We want you to succeed. And also, after the Castle Rock, go to Biz Buy Sell, because there's going to be a run on businesses. People are going to be bailing on businesses. So, here's another opportunity for you to take over payments. Or in other words, somebody's going to potentially give it away, because there's going to be a lot of people that's going to be hurting, because a lot of people are getting laid off. This all goes hand in hand. So, yes, this is what's going to go down, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to go down, where people are getting older and they're like, hey, it's getting hard out here. I don't want to do this. Hey, just pay me my 2 G's and I'll go off into the sunset, and you can pay me another 1,000 or two to pay for ownership. But I got to go. You have the headache. Those are there. Biz, buy, sell. This is, and you know what? It's just like a business is hard. Let's not, let's cut to the chase. It's very hard. But the point is, oftentimes, just like real estate, when you show up and look at real estate property, you keep an open mind. So what do? You go, hey, if it's a fixer upper, you start looking around. You say, hey, you get comps in the neighborhood. You do your due diligence. And then you find out, well, wait a minute, I can get this thing for 100 G's. And if I fix it up for 25, but after that, it looks like these others and it's just as good. All of a sudden, this is 225 to 250. Hell yeah, it's worth spending 25 G's, 30 G's to do it. Now, the same rules apply for business. There could be a failing business where the owner's like, man, but you walk in and you're just like, oh my God, if I did this, I did that, I can do advertising, I can do all this. This guy's not doing none of it. And this place could use a sprucing up. And now he tells me he has social media, but yet he's not getting any customers. I'm like, man, your place is a dump. It's like, what are you talking? So again, that's what you have to look at. There's places out there that you can actually acquire that doesn't cost you, well, sometimes nothing. Like I said, it's Friday night and we got story nights. I'll give you a story night. All right. I used to be a train. I was in the fitness business. I did training. I did marketing. I did all kind of stuff. Right. So anyhow, I don't even remember how it happened, but I ran into a lady somewhere. Her husband died. She gets a fitness center in Salinas, California. Now, I live in Sacktown area. Salinas is like, I don't know, 2.5, 3 hours away. I'm like, oh, nah. But then she starts talking. And she says, yeah, we got older equipment. You know how much it costs to get new equipment? I can't do that now. The membership is going down because our equipment's getting older. I'm like, she's giving me all this stuff. I'm like, hold up. What are you saying right now? Now, because I'm in the business, I'm just like, equipment, that's nothing. We could just get somebody we just get a note. They'll give us the equipment. We don't even have to do any. The people that build the machines will bring them into your establishment if you already have X amount of memberships. I was like, and they'll give us an we'll have an IOU, but nonetheless, that's how we'll get the new equipment. I start talking to her. Next thing you know, she says, well, why don't we be partners? I'm like, hold up now. Hold up. That means I don't do partnerships. So I don't know what you're saying. I said, I'm just giving you a little bit of help and advice. I'll help you with that. But no. She goes, no, I don't know nothing about it, really. He ran everything. I said, oh, okay. Well, then here's what's going to happen. I'm going to get one of my boys who does marketing. He used to be manager. Me and him, and I need full control. And I need somewhere between 55-60%, somewhere in there. She says, okay, because I don't want to lose it. We've been in business for like 15 years. I get down there. My God, it looks like they've been in business for 15 years. The equipment is like 10 years old. The place is like some old Gold's Gem. Yeah, where you see like a banner up there with the name on it and black and dark and dingy. I'm just like, oh, this is going to be a piece of cake. So, of course, we flip the script. And my boy comes down. He looks. He says the same thing I said. He's like, what the hell is this? I said, exactly. I said, so I got a percentage for you. And we're going to do this. He's like, we're going to do this. This lady gets to sit on the sidelines from our expertise. Now, remember the situation that I told you, charging people like $25 per month, okay, for memberships? $1 first month, $25 a month, but you got to sign a 2-year contract. Okay, so you guys pay attention. Derivatives, that's $300 a year. 2 years means that piece of paper was worth $600. So now we go on the radio. We got the front looking good. Everything's back to what a gym should look like. Next thing you know, it's not just 20 people signing up. It's 30. It's 40. It's 50. It's 100. It's 200. It's 300. It's 500. All of a sudden, it's like, hold on now. Hold on. So you can do the numbers. Like, look right here. So she doesn't know about the derivatives. All right. So I'll give you guys some numbers. Okay. 500 times 300. Give you guys some derivatives. That's $150,000 in 2 months. Okay. She doesn't know that we get to take this piece of paper down to A3 Financial. A3 Financial says we'll give you 65% today for each contract, and people send the money to them. Deal. Now, just so everybody understands, 65% is 97.5. All right. So for every 500 contracts, that's 97.5. Now, keep in mind, there's offshoots, there's trainers, there's smoothie bars, and little snacks, and aerobic classes that people have to pay for. So now all of a sudden, this thing is running on nothing but beauty. So that is how the big boys do the gym business, and actually the car business, and actually any business that has assets under management. And you can go say, hey, man, I have all this money under management or money coming in, this piece of paper, and I can use derivatives out here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, once again, story night. Had to tell you. All right, let's go. Oh, and by the way, yeah. By the way, I forgot to mention something. Okay, um, I forgot to mention something. So the 97.5, and then since the house gets 65%, just so you guys understand, that's $63,000 over 2 months. All right, so that's 36,000. I don't think anybody would have a problem even today if you made 15 G's a month, right? I don't think anybody's gonna have a problem living if you made 175,000 a year, right? And you're single, right? I don't think you'll have a problem, right? Come on, let's get real out here. All right. And I don't think you'll have a problem with 20, and I don't think you'll have a problem with 25. Just saying. All right. For something that's keeping you in shape, something that you love, and you ain't even having to really run the place. Come on. All right. Retail shakeout is exactly what happened. Exactly. Whales were buying on the dip. Exactly. Just like we were telling people here. Buy the dip. Just like post retirement travel was saying he backed up the truck 8, 9 days ago. And 4 days ago, you guys were here when we said you should be SPY, QQQ, and all that. This is not rocket science, but you have to understand what's happening. That is the key here. And altcoins tip it in April. No more buying, full bear market. Always something. Story time. During the last survey measurements, they told me that the second parcel next to mine is also in my name in the deeds. I've doubled up my land. Oh my God, are you kidding me right now? Congratulations. That also means you can build something out there or not, or it's monetized. How big is this? How big is this parcel is the biggest question, because I want to know. Because the first thing I want to get into lately, which I can't get into now, but storage, because a lot of people are going to need storage of their belongings. I meant they top out in April. Crypto. Okay, you're watching a trend. Is that what you're trying to tell me right now? Is that a trend? Come on, tell me you're watching a trend line or something. Tell me. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. I don't even know if I told you guys a complete story before. I've been in so many crazy deals you would not believe. The similar story happened because I was going to Reno, Nevada to gamble. Again, I used to be a gambler for real. I used to do roulette, and I had my own special way I played. I used to have a crowd around me because I would be collecting anybody that plays roulette knows that the chips are colored so they can tell the difference of players, right? So I would have all my colors. So then they would have to give me whatever somebody wasn't playing another color. And then people would start and I'd write stuff down. Basically, I was just writing down every number that came up because when I played back in the day, they didn't have the number, the 10 numbers or 15 numbers on the side, but it wouldn't have mattered. I kept every number that came up and I had a system and I'd write it down. And these people are, and I'm only like 24, 5. And people are like, how's this kid doing this? What the hell's going on around here? And I'd be explaining to people, then people would be following my bets and where I'm putting my chips at. People would go, I'm going with him. And then all of a sudden, I mean, it was like fun, right? So I'm sitting there in Reno and I go to Burger King, which I do not recommend for anybody. But I went to Burger King somewhere. I don't remember where it was. It was in Sparks, I think, which is a suburb outside of Reno. I go up there and I see a sign that says for sale, and I'm like, what the hell? Let me see. Let me find out. The lady, I call her up again. It's another lady that answers, and this lady says, yeah, I'm losing money at this business. My husband doesn't really help. We were making money before. Now we're not. And we just want out. We've owned this for like 20 years or something crazy. I can't remember the exact thing. And I'm sitting there like, I'm listening. I'm like, okay. I said, I don't know nothing about this business. So, needless to say, I say, okay, I'm interested. Let me come out and check out your place. So now when I go out there, I find out she has literally like two people in the kitchen. She has one person out front. There's a line of people and they can't get served. So some people are leaving. The drive through can't get manned because there's two people in the back. So one of them has to sit there and deal with drive throughs. And she's there having to give food through the thing. I'm like, oh, this is dysfunctional management happening right now. I'm sitting there like they have a crowd, drive through and here. And I guess it must have been lunchtime or whatever. I just got there during a busy time. And they're having people wait, bringing food out. I'm just sitting there like, people ain't coming back here. Are you serious right now? So now I go and talk with her husband. The husband is dejected. He's like, there's nothing we can do. We tried everything. I was like, tried everything? How about employees? Yeah, but we're not making any money and we can't pay more people. Blah, 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 blah. Like, dude, do you not realize I was there? You lost probably 20 to 30 people within a 30-minute period that walked out because you didn't have the employees. I said, okay, here's what we're going to do. If you guys are this downtrodden and you guys are worried, I mean, this is how I talk. I'm serious. I'd be like, hey, if you guys are seriously like, you feel like you can't do nothing, then it's going to cost you if I'm involved. They're like, what do you mean? I said, I just told you I never ran a Burger King. But I'm going to tell you something right now. This is the way you're doing this you're on an uphill battle. You don't have enough employees here. You got people walking out. If you just kept the people who came through your door and came to the drive-through, you would probably be doing a hell of a lot better. So what are we going to do? I was like, okay, we got to sign this contract. It was like a 51-49-ish. So you know what I did? All I did was I called up the UNR and I said, hey, I need some people down here, and I can't remember the number. It was like minimum wage or something. I mean, like it was like maybe $1 more than minimum wage. University of Nevada, Reno. It's a college. Then I called up some schools and I said, hey, I need some people that can get some work credit where they're going to be coming in, and I need them to come in before school. I need them to come in the afternoons after for 4 hours. And they were like, oh, we're going to pay you. I was like, what? Really? Yeah, okay. All right, fine. You're going to contribute? They said, yeah. This is in Nevada. I was like, oh, this is different. Okay, fine. But I'm still going to give them like minimum wage. So I guess whatever. So they said, so now I get a workforce for literally overnight, literally, but it took a little days of training. And of course, their crew was people who are not in the hospitality business. I'm not either, but I know when people come in, you should be saying, hello, how you doing? Welcome to Burger King or something. So we got the crew to all be happy. And then I also had I had her not really be in the back. I had her to make sure nobody leaves. Nobody leaves, because anybody that says this line is too long, you better say, hey, we're going to have you in about 15 minutes. That too long is 10 minutes too long. You better figure out what the timeline is, because you're going to tell them this is under new management and we're going to get you done. And that's what she did. Next thing you know, All of a sudden, people were coming back, bringing their friends. They're like, "Oh, these dudes are on point. I came in for lunch. I was out here in like 5 minutes." I'm like, exactly, exactly. Onus is on the customer, and you got to make sure you know your customers and what they're out here doing, and make sure we expedite. That's the key. And so that's what happened. Turned it around in about 3 months. Her and her husband come to me and is like, "Hey, can we buy back your part?" I was, I was like, "Sure." They were like, I said, "It's double." They said, "What?" I said, "It's double. My share is double. I mean, I want 100% of what I put in." They're like, they're like, I said, "Oh, just stay calm, stay calm, stay calm. Just send me like 5 G's a month, all right, until it's done." She's like, "That might take me like 5 years." I said, "Okay, you got a problem with that? Or you can just give me a few hundred G's if you want. I mean, however you want to do it, but I'm giving you an out. You don't. I know you don't have the money, so that's why I said just give me 5 G's a month." Now, remember, this is in the '80s, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So just so you guys don't think I'm crazy, listen, 5,000 in 19. That was a probably 80. Mm, had to be like 80, 80. It had to be like 90. Let's see, 90. Yeah, it had to be 90. Is how much today? So literally, I go sideline back to Sacktown and shipping the equivalent of 12 G's a month right now. Like I said, I think you guys can live with 12 G's a month, right? And it's just coming. I don't have to do anything. I don't, I can just hang out. So that's what you do, ladies and gentlemen, out here, right? This is what's happening right now. There's people that are losing money. All right. They was missing money. Exactly, the true trill. Yep. So this is how you do it. And it's happening right now because manufacturing jobs are lost, transportation jobs are lost. There's deals to be made because a lot of people have lost money. They made an investment, and you want to find the people who actually still have their business going, who's willing to get the help and they're willing to give you a piece. Of course, with the upside of this has to be successful. I mean, I don't just want a piece of L's. It's a piece. So if we go and get this up, then I get this done beforehand. We ain't got to haggle with this later. All right. You're just going to have to listen to me right now. All right. So that's what we did. And in both those situations, exit strategy was already in play because I was like, well, either I keep, making money or you. And when they came and offered, "I'll buy you back," then I said, "Okay, I want double. Send me a 5G check every month." Then we don't have the money, Eric. I know we can't give you the double. I said, "Yeah, it's 5Gs. That's fine. Send me 5Gs. I know you make 5Gs because I've been here. We make a lot now. You guys get to keep the 95% of the, not 95, but roughly 90%, 85, 85. I can't remember the number. Maybe it was 80% or something. I can't remember the exact number, but it was still, I get 5Gs. They get to keep like 15 or 20 or something. So they were happy going from damn near zero. They were sucking wind. Basically, they were scraping up money to pay to make sure they stayed open. Crazy, crazy stuff. Because at first I said, "Well, why don't you just close?" And then she started giving me the sob story. And then I was like, "Okay, hold on, man. Let me go check this place out." And then after I saw what was happening, I was like, "What? This is a piece of cake." Okay, let's see. Uh, And they were immigrants too from Asia. And so they were like here on their, I guess, I don't know their immigrant status, but I'm assuming because they had a heavy accents and things like that. I think that they came from had one of these visas, or maybe from a country that they had protected status. And so basically they didn't want to go back. So they were like, hey, if you can save us, this is where we'll give you the 51 right now. And I said, if it's going to happen, I'm telling you the playbook right now. And the husband's sitting there, man, he lost his mind. The wife is the strongest one. She was actually there trying to make it. Her husband's crying at home. We can't do anything. You see what's going on? They're just basically a death spiral. It was crazy. So it didn't take much. But those opportunities are all over right now. Like I said earlier, transportation companies going out of business. That means bankruptcy, highest ever in like last 20 years or 15 years or so. So that means there's an opportunity in the transportation business, right? But I'm not going to go there because that's very hard business. But again, I'm glad you helped him as a black man. Exactly, man. It don't matter to me. This is all about the money. I was the business dude. Thanks, 100. Underline twice. Thank you so much for that donation again. The truth. Thank you so much. Yeah, man, exactly. Speaking of that, you don't really think of it. I never really thought about the colors situations. But yeah, man. And that was the funniest thing because like I said, they're Asian. I can't remember what country they were from. But again, if you would have saw, this was pitiful. A person that bought and owns a Burger King and the husband's crying. Literally. When I go over to their house, he's sitting there. When we start talking about the Burger King, he's like, I'm going to lose everything. I was like, he's like, man, I'm going to lose everything in about 2 months. I said, no, you're not going to lose everything, man. He's like, yeah, I heard this before. I had somebody else come in here and say stuff. Da, da, da. I said, yeah, well, like I said, you got nothing to lose. He goes, what do you mean? I said, it's not going to cost you anything. I just want you to sign paperwork that I got 51%. And then, oh man, I wish I had the paperwork. My paperwork said I got 51% ownership temporarily. Literally, it said temporarily. When I turn this around, then I get X amount, up to X amount. And it said something like, uh, I only have his timeline. I only have like 2 months to reach X amount, something of that. I mean, it was like he's sitting there like, ah, this ain't never gonna happen. He's all dead. I was like, dude, chill out. You have nothing to lose. Either I do what I say, or you're toast anyhow. And the wife's like, are you listening? What's wrong with you? We better do this. I think our time's gonna be. The wife was even like, our time might be up in 2 weeks. We better do something now. That's why I brought him over here. I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. So I had everything, stipulations, and they were like, this ain't never gonna happen. I was like, it's gonna happen. I just checked your spot. You're in a prime spot right off the freeway. What you got customers, but they're walking out. And you got lazy ass work. Well, not really lazy. You got workers. You don't have enough workers. And they're like, they didn't understand. I got to pay people. Yeah, well, yeah, that's part of the thing. So that's why I said I made a deal. Oh, by the way, when you did the school situations and tie in the schools, the person doesn't get paid for 2 weeks, right? For their first paycheck at least. And if you do it every other week, then it could be 2.5 weeks. So you have 2 weeks of, I don't want to say free payroll, but you have 2 weeks. And actually, out of the 2 weeks, only 1 week's going to be payable. So I was like, we have employees in 3 days. And now we're going to have the production up. So now people ain't walking out. And now all these people we can serve. So all them people walking out are now going to stay. All the cars that are driving through the drive-through, that long line, they're going to get service. And now we make money. And oh, by the way, raise everything 25 cents. What the frick? All right. As long as it's agreeable with Burger King, let's do it. No, because she will always think of you, that man, help us. That's exactly right. You're right about that. You're right about that. Um, she called me. The husband never called me. That's the funniest part. She would call me like 6 months, 8 months, and be like, I gotta tell you, thank you so much again. Thank you. And so one time I was told her after she did it like 3 times, I said, how come your husband never calls me? She goes, he's embarrassed. I was like, what do you mean? He's embarrassed. Why ain't he did it? Why did he like, hey? So finally he calls me and says, hey man, I don't believe it. Here it is, like 2 years later. I never believed this would happen. When you coming back to Reno? I said, never. And you paid me. Thank you, man. Oh, it was funny stuff. Funny stuff, man. But yeah, yeah. She called me for years thanking me. And oh, it even got even crazier. She was like, yeah, you got to come up. We got our family coming from, I swear I can't remember what country, but our family's coming. We've been talking about you for the last year, 2 years. When you came in, I met you over here and you helped us out the kindness of your heart. They couldn't believe it. Yeah, man, it was number love. But you got a good point, man. That's what happened. It was awesome. So anyhow, story night, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting back to the stock market. Boom! Hey, that's the thumbnail tonight. Stock market is going wild. Crypto is not over, ladies and gentlemen. It's one of those things people said it was going to die. It's not going to die. Okay. Crypto is nothing. Let's just get real. Crypto is nothing, but the banks and the financial system has a use for it. It's not going anywhere. All right. Especially Bitcoin, Ethereum, and their favorites. All right. They're not going anywhere. So you might as well enjoy the ride. There's people that were talking about MicroStrategy because the stock price started dropping. And what's his name? Tom Lee. They started talking about these, the Bitcoin guys that shill. They said, man, if it goes below a certain value, MicroStrategy's over. I think they said one person said 50 G's, another person said 60 G's, another person said 40 G's. I'm like, and if it gets to 40 G's, people will be buying. The banks will be buying. The Federal Reserve will be buying. There's no way it gets to 40 G's. That's a fantasy. If it gets to 50, in the 50s, that would be about right. Because that's traditionally how far it would drop, somewhere in the 55 range and up, because it was at 126. That would make sense. Those are the percentages roughly. And then after that, they just buy. And it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. They buy at 50, 59.9 and then watch it go up to 70. You know how much money these people made off of that movement? Because they're in the market trading as well. So they get best of both worlds. They buy the crypto at 60. It went up 10, but that 10,000, all them pips and ticks, they were in the market and they probably still are. So how much leverage did they use? I don't know. Could be 10, 20, 30 to 1. All right. All right. You help a whole generation. Thank you, the Trill. Hey, man, this is why I was one of America's most dangerous, man. They were like, oh, the federal government, the states, they were all like, man, we got to stop this brother. He out here helping everybody. Do you not see? Did you guys come to one of his little shows, his little seminars, where he was like, he had white people, black people, Asian people, Mexican people, and he's sitting over there giving them free game. He's over there trying to help them with information. Wait a minute. We better stop this dude. He's helping ordinary citizens. And by the way, do you know how much assets he's got? We better strip him from these assets some way, somehow. We better make up some. We can't have this. We can't. Do you understand? He's making it too easy. Do you know he's only like 27, 28 years old? What the hell's going on, man? You guys were supposed to stomp this fool down a long time ago. Don't worry. We'll make up something. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. Usually that BTC drop takes 1 year. This time 1 month. Exactly, EV Place. Exactly. That's why the upside is going to be shorter as well. So again, if you guys have a dollar cost average above 70, what were you thinking? Above 60, shouldn't you have been buying more? Just like the stock market, the banks, everybody's in. The financial structure of America and around the world is based on these working. This is their out. Is crypto, which is not an out because crypto's nothing either. It's not backed by anything. It's the same thing. The only reason it can go higher is somebody has to pay higher. It doesn't accumulate value based on nothing. There's no value accumulation. That's what I'm trying to say. There's no correlation. So again, boom for stocks, boom for crypto, depending on when you buy. If you bought at 125, there ain't no boom for you yet. You're gonna have to wait 2 years. Well, maybe not now, maybe 8 months. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, it could be back up to 100 by this time next Friday. You know why? Because the stock market went boom, and now people take those assets and they put them into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and buy a little bit of gold and silver if they can find it. All right. Second judge blocks IRS from sharing taxpayer information with ICE. Thank God. There's a constitution still in effect. Sheesh. A second judge. The first judge did it. Why do we need two? I know appeal. So, okay, maybe a two. We got two. This is great. This is great. Brian P., that is good news. I'm glad to hear this. Doctor indicted on charges he falsified records to block patient's liver transplant. Oh my God, man. Stop it. Stop it. Don't keep doing this to me. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me, man. You know this hurts me. They're out here hurting OCs every chance they get. Every chance they get, they try to hurt these. Oh my God. You guys own a Kia or a Hyundai? Your screen could go blank. Certain models, your dashboard could go blank while you're driving. That could be scary, but yeah, that would be kind of scary if you don't know how fast you're going, I guess. If there's no traffic, that would be interesting. That would be very interesting. I'm going to put this in the chat room as well. Brian P. Brian P., we talked about the toxin poisoning in the baby formula on Monday, by the way, in the United States. All right. Thank you so much, Brian P. You don't want to be sitting somewhere with your health in order. All right. Here we go. Doctor indicted on false, but the Hyundai models, ladies and gentlemen. That is crazy. You can go see all of this. You're in trouble, Americans. Does this look like a first world country to you with all of this crazy nonsense happening all the time? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Ozempic related drugs. Again, that weight loss thing, making people go blind. See, this is what I'm saying. This is what this is crazy. Just eat right. Don't be doing the shortcuts. God, this is terrible. These shortcuts are going to kill you out here. All right. This is crazy. These shortcuts are going to hurt you, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to kill you. Ozempic and other weight loss drugs linked to sudden vision loss. Studies suggest, oh, Jesus, there's a study for this. A rare but serious eye condition enters the frame, occurs when the blood supply to the front part of the optic nerve suddenly drops. Oh, my God. This can't be happening. Oh, my goodness. Loss of vision usually affects one eye. It often appears on waking without pain. People may notice a dark pattern and people feel this damage is permanent. Uh, more than 7 times higher. Oh, Jesus. 16,000 people, ladies and gentlemen. Holy smokes. This, and a lot of people were on this stuff too. I put a link in the chat. Nope, I didn't. Uh-oh, hold on. That's not the right links. The wrong links, in fact. That's not good. God. Oh my goodness. What? Holy smokes. I got the wrong link there. Well, oh well. Nobody can get that one anyhow. All right, look at this sudden iris shot. The Outlook office is not the link, in case anybody wants to check it out. That's not the link. The next link is the Irish Oak. That's the Ozempic weight loss for loss of sight. This is insane. This was allowed on the market in the first place. That is freaking outrageous. Outrageous. Oh my goodness. Uh Questionable sale. Enterprise car sales drives elderly woman 30 miles to make a deal. Okay, there it is. Second judge blocks the IRS. ICE. Yeah. What? ICE isn't even a. What the heck is. All of a sudden, we got a rogue administration good with giving out information. Like, what the hell is going on? I mean, this is just. I mean, there's just no depths of depravity with illegal activity like it's a normal thing, and then we'll find out if the judges are got balls to block us. I'm sitting there like the law should block your ass. This is bad, 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 bad. I can't even keep watching this. Every day it's bad news. Get sick, you will. Okay, erectile dysfunction drug found in honey energy supplement. Oh my God. Brian P., you got to stop this, man. Here, hold on, man. You're driving me to drink. Check it out. Salute. All right. Some of that Napa Valley wine, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Some Napa Valley vineyard wine. Mm, 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 mm. All right. California kids. This is crazy. Cray, cray, cray. Recall alert for the mold contamination. Okay, you know what? I've had enough, Brian P. I can't keep going. We were talking about the boom for the stock market. And by the way, I need you guys that with bad credit, I need you to get your credit right. Loans in order. Get your credit to 775. How do you do that? Debt resolution, debt consolidation, debt reduction. And that's why you email Tracy and let her know you're from SSN Nation. Eric sent you. She's family, so treat her with respect. Any disrespect, I'll tell her to cut your ass off. All right? I'm just saying, no disrespect. She helps people. She is part of the fam. So show some love and she will try to do her best. She lives for this to help people. She sits there as like somebody's going to go into bankruptcy or debt collection. She's like, hold on. We can get you. You pay the same. How much can you pay? You can pay the same amount. You're just behind. Okay. Then we'll get it reduced and we'll get it handled. I put it in the chat room, the link for her email address. Everybody on podcast, Tracy, TRACY dot sharpe, SHARPE at moneyladder.com. There's a video also in the chat room that I posted. So therefore, you can go watch the video. She used to work for another company when she did this. Now she works for Money Ladder. So email her at Money Ladder and let her know. Eric sent you SSN Nation. Let her know. And that way she'll be happy. Because her other company started getting calls and emails, right? Because the old video. And they finally told her, hey, we keep getting these calls or emails for you, but just want to let you know, will you let these guys know to stop? It's like, okay, okay. You don't have to say it twice. Let's do it. Okay, I can't find this erectile dysfunction drug found in honey energy supplement yet because uh, uh, I need to find that because I don't know what honey energy supplement it is. That one I haven't seen yet. Um, okay, the mold alert. I just got to. Oh man, I didn't even know I had a domain name called SSN Nation. Man, I gotta activate. I have a renewal notice February 12th. I must have been busy doing something. I don't even remember doing that. Um, Marshall School Board candidate charged with something. 600 alleged traffic. Oh, hold up, man. This is crazy. 600 sex traffickers. Sheesh. Wow. This is out of control. Out of control. Let's see what this looks like. This speaks for itself. So I have a whole bunch of things out here, and I put Tracy for her info. All right. You want your debt put back in order? That's who you need to contact. All right. Just remember that. Let me see. I don't see it. Hold on a second. Let me make sure. Did I? Oh, yeah, I did put it in. Okay. Here we go. Right here. You'll see this one right here. There it is on the screen. So even people watching from anywhere, people who's listening, then you need a pen, pad, and paper. And I'll say it again. TRACY dot sharpe with an E at the end. SHARPE at moneyladder.com. Get your debt reduced. It takes 1 to 2 years generally. And on the other side of that, They give you paid in full good standing. Just saying. All right. Get it done. Even in collections right now, could be possible too. They negotiate. So go check it out. And that way you can free up some extra money that you can make investments on. So you can actually make money passively. All right. So hopefully that helps out, ladies and gentlemen. And if you want to start trading, I've already done the candlestick Bible for you. So now I'm going to give you CoinEx, right? CoinEx is a broker, and the broker is not affiliated with the United States government. You upload using crypto, you download using crypto. And so that also goes with my card effect. And yes, everybody who signs up with CoinEx, you have a demo account. So therefore, you can start learning how to trade. So you get the Candlestick Bible, the Candlestick Trading Bible, and then you get CoinEx. Then you open the demo account instead of the live account. Then you read Candlestick Bible, you study the internet, you watch the markets within your CoinEx because you're going to use MetaTrader 4 or MetaTrader 5 with them, and you can start learning. I advise learning and studying and what fits for you, right? Wouldn't that make sense? Okay, so where's my Candlestick Bible? You can go to stopstrugglingnow.com. And at the top of the menu, you can download it there. It's a PDF. So you can share it. All right. You don't have to pay for anything. All right. That's what we do here. We want you to succeed. All right. That's how this goes. All right. It's up for me. Okay. ENIC. I don't know who that is. Let's go. I'm almost there. 725. Now have two bills to pay off this year. Soon it's going to go over 8. There we go. The true trill. You're on schedule, man. Great job. That's how you got to do it. That's how you have to do it, man. Just basically get your IOU under 5%. Then you'll be good. All right. Test run. ENIC. Okay. Let's go see who is ENIC. Is this a stock? Is this a crypto? What is it? ENIC is something in Chile. I don't know what. Uh, this it's a distribution company. Well, I will say this. I need to go look at something. What is that symbol? DH? Is it DHS? DH, DTC? DTC maybe. Let me go look at. I think it's DTC. Nah, that's Defense Therapeutics. It's DH. I don't think it's DHS though. I don't know why I can't remember the name of this. I'm looking for a tanker company. DHT? DHT. I think that's it. DHT. Let's see. Yep, double hull tankers. That's it. DHT, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go see what they are doing. Why don't we find out? Yeah, we can do this. All right, I'm going to wrap this up in a second. I got some Minchies today, courtesy of the wife. She had the BOGO, buy one, get one free. Unfortunately, I should have told you guys about this earlier, but it's too late now. Or is it? Yeah, it's too late. No, it's not too late. You can still go to Minchies. It closes at 9 or 10. Buy one, get one free. They might be in your area. It's a yogurt shop, and it's very, very good. And since it's the wife's birthday, they gave $5 off too the other day. So, Menchie's for the week. A win. Buy one, get one free. They weigh it, what you put in there. It's awesome. All right. It's up for me. Test run. Okay. First things first. I have to go find out what's been happening with DHT. Oh, it's $14. What the heck? It's rising. Or is it? Let's go check out what's been happening over the last year. Let's go see. Last year up 30%. Okay. Just so you guys understand, um, their dividend is 11% right now. It was higher than that. DHT basically have tankers. And when there's an oversupply of oil, that's where all these oil companies park their oil. And that is exactly what's been happening, in oversupply of oil. So their stock price has increased. And by the way, it used to be a year ago, it was $11.51. And now it's $14. So just so you understand, before they used to give around 13.5 to 14% dividends. So whoever invested last year, or heaven forbid if it would have been 5 years ago, 5 years ago, it was $5.97, just so everybody understands. And it was around 20% dividends on that. So pay attention to the tankers. DHT's one. Frontline was another. It was FRO, but their dividend is only 3.7. So it's not really cool, but I wouldn't recommend do that. EINC, is that crypto? Let's go look. Let's go look. Okay. Um, it says it's not crypto. So you must be talking about the electric utility company listed. While crypto.com tracks its stock price, it is not a digital currency, though the stock has been discussed as a potential penny stock. What the heck? So crypto.com is tracking it, but it trades as an American depository receipt, otherwise known as the ADR. Okay. All right. Enough. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you liked what we were discussing this evening. I want to thank the Truth Trill once again. I humbly appreciate all the donations you have made this evening. Thank you, and your contributions as well. Okay, let's see what he's saying here. He's saying this is Ashfiat Almar Energy Support. Okay. Yeah, it did say it's an energy company of some sort. Um, that that is the honey. What's the name of the honey? Because I couldn't find it. I know I'm going to find it after I come in and check some other things out. Tamara Larry, welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. Thank you so much for being in the house. All right. The Truth Trail 100. Okay. There we go. All right, we're going to wrap this up tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully, you guys got the CoinX, right? Download that. You upload crypto if you want to go live with real money. The beauty of that, though, is I have been remiss. I forgot to mention the Bancus card. Oh, by the way, the Bancus MasterCard, people started getting theirs this past week. So that means mine must be coming soon. I showed a few people started posting that they have their Bancus MasterCard debit card now. And there's more. There's more coming. These guys are about to do some damn things. They're doing white label cards. Obviously, I knew that would happen. You know how many of these crypto debit card people have been trying to get off on that. Now they can actually buy the cards from them. Okay, fine. There's commission for this. This is money making as well, ladies and gentlemen. That's the other part to this. So basically, if you refer somebody, use my referral link, please. It's an app. Then when you buy your card, now it's $50 for the plastic card and it's $100 for the metal MasterCard. The metal MasterCard is not a tap card, if that matters to you. But Tuesdays and Thursdays, 2 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Eastern, is the Zoom calls. They answer questions. So it's a good thing. There is a group. Now, I can't be in their WhatsApp group because our WhatsApp is under SSN Lifestyle. They don't allow business names in there. And I was like, well, then I don't need to be in your group. It's like because I don't have two phone numbers. And as far as I know, I can't have a personal. I said, I can't figure out how to put a personal account in WhatsApp with my SSN lifestyle. So then he's take me out the group then, man. If that's your policy, I ain't got time to worry about it. I'll just, we'll deal. I'm not in this for the other factor. I'm in this to help other people because it's in Mexico City. They're outside of the USA. That's one of the criterias. Have bank accounts outside the US, have crypto outside the US jurisdiction, and have money outside the US jurisdiction that they don't know about. And basically, when you go to CoinEx, they are not regulated by the United States government. So, bingo for me. I love it. I download the crypto, I upload on a regulated environment. But after that, the regulated environment doesn't know where the crypto goes, right? After I'm successful trading on the stock market, I download it to my Bancus account. Bancus also has a digital debit card. So even though you don't have the physical card, I don't have the physical card yet. If I want to buy something online, I can use the digital debit card number. Debit, the MasterCard debit card. So I can buy online. And if it matters to you, Google Wallet, Apple Wallet, just approved in the past 7 to 10 days. So there you can put your card, your digital one or the real card on in there. I don't use those, but whatever, however you use them, you can use them with this crypto debit card. So I highly suggest you order one. If it's not the 100, then at least get the tap plastic one. Now, the other feature that I mentioned before, if you're new here, then you will not know about this. But the thing about this card is I can send you money. All I need is your email address, and there's no fee to send money. The one drawback, if I call it a drawback, is that they do charge on the upload. So when you load the card, recharge the card, it's 4%. 4% is hefty, I have to admit. But 1% they give as commission, 3% the company keeps. So every recharge, whoever referred you gets 1%. The company keeps 3%. So I was like, okay, fine. Um, so that's that. And they give you crypto in return. So yes, you can actually make money for all you network marketers. So please use my link. It's in the chat room. It'll be down below in the description box. All right. In case you're interested. And once again, no matter where you're watching this from, in all the chat rooms, I believe you should have the links for the Bancus. And there's more coming. Just so you guys know, there's more. But the feature itself, where you can send people money just off their email address and there's no fee once it's loaded to Bancus. So you want your friends and family to have a Bancus card as well. All right. Now there's something that people do not understand. When you get to certain levels, uh, there's cards that do not have your name on them. They're just with the logo. All right. Wealthy families have these type of cards, right? Guess what? This debit card is acting just like that, which I love. There's no name on the card. Nothing. So you cannot go to the bank. I'll tell everybody all the time. You're thinking, oh, I'll go get a cash advance. No, you won't, because it has no name on the card. So you can't do a cash advance. The only place you're going is to an ATM machine. That's all. That's the only place you're going. All right. Or you're going to a cash back place, when you check out and you're using debit, then they can get you cash back if you put your PIN in. That's the only place you're going. You're not going to get no cash advance. Whatever the ATM machines allow you to take out, that's what you're going to take out, because the plastic card allows you to take out $2,500. I don't know any ATM machine that lets you take out 2 G's or even 1 G's anymore. Maybe in New York they might, or Chi-Town they might, or LA somewhere they might, but I don't know where they are. So whatever the max is that the ATM machine allows, and there's no fees. So if the ATM machine charges a fee, then that's the charge. If there's no fee from the ATM machine, then there's no charge to you. All right? It's that simple. So those are the key factors that I love. No name on cards. That's pretty sweet too. Just saying. All right. Now, and not trackable. By the way, did we talk about you got to save your money? Remember, the United States and thieves are searching for your money. So you need it to be protected. All right. That is all for the night. Exactly. Thank you, Brian P. My goodness. What is this right here? I didn't see it. BC Williams Bakery Service, based in Texas, issued a voluntary recall for 3 products on December 23rd due to the undeclared presence of milk. Good God, man. This is terrible. Terrible out here. All right. If anybody has any questions, you guys know where to find me. Down below in the chat room is a good start. And if that doesn't work, you can always hit me up at support@stopstrugglingnow.com. It's that simple. Support@stopstrugglingnow.com. If you need anything else and you want to talk about anything else, all you have to do is email or chat. Hey, I want to talk about this. I will be dropping a video because, again, Dominican Republic, they did their thing. They got, well, I don't know what they did. They have a new record high apparently for the month of January for air and cruise, but we don't care about cruise. We want the visitor totals by air because that's the only thing that matters. We know those people are going to stay on the island, average 7 days, and spend roughly $1,200 to $1,400 during their stay. Okay, to help the economy. That's not a hell of a whole lot, is it? If you start really thinking about it, that's not a lot. So when you start going, there's what was it, 8 million? No, sorry. Yeah, 8.85, and on average, they each spend $1,400, $1,300, and their average stay is 7.5 nights. All of this is a curated information. The reason why is because if you're doing investments, you should understand what the trend is. So, depending on the trend, then you will know how to proceed. Either sell now or stay in the game. It's simple. And by the way, we have something inside Vistacana, a 1 bedroom. I don't know where it is, but it's a 1 bedroom inside Vistacana that was 125, has been dropped to 115.5, 115,500 for a 1 bedroom inside Vistacana. I think that's pretty good. It's going according to plan. Whoever saw my Dominican Republic live stream about 2 weeks ago, and whoever saw it on, I cut it and then I posted it under videos. You guys already know I've already said what was going to happen, and it's happening. So now we have River Island owners. They're saying, I'll sell for less than what I bought it for internally. We have, I want to say Jasmine, but that's not it. That's not it. Jardines. We have Jardines who reduced their price for pre-construction, which again, I don't advise pre-construction. I do. Let's put it this way: if it's Jardines and you can get a 1 bedroom for 50,000, 56,000, 60,000 or less, then I would suggest doing that because that means $350 per week is cheap. And if you can get 50 or 60% occupancy, like one person at 80 something percent, man, that means, yeah, you might not make that much during the year, but the point is 7Gs, 8Gs, and you're getting that type of occupancy rate. There was one that was 24%, and then one that was 84%. So I don't know what the difference was. I wasn't paying attention. But all I'm saying is that's pretty good. For a place on the whole island, the average is 30% occupancy rates. for short-term rentals. So I'm like, hold on, if this thing is 50 some thousand. So when you start looking at these prices dropping, you can say, okay, if it's pre-construction, no credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry, it makes sense. Oh, and I'm sorry, Tamara Larry, I can't get in touch with the Jardines guys. The brokers have all started breaking up who they're dealing with. This is getting out of control right now. I know why. It's basically because you're not selling that many units. So then they're like, well, then you're not going to be a broker. And then you're like, well, why am I wasting my time when nobody really wants to buy here when we can offer sure up how many we're offering less. So then the people that do, the minimum amount of people that come through the door, they're not inundated with 10 different things, but we drop it to 5. So the top 5. So I can understand how this is happening. So the brokers I deal with, nobody has Jardines. So I can't even get the prices right. It's crazy right now over there. I knew this was going to happen. We all did. Dominican Republic sees 8% tourism surge in January despite flight disruptions for snowstorms. Yes, EV Place. We were talking about this already. They said it was over I think it was 1.1 million or something like that. But what they did not say was how many visitors by air. They didn't separate air versus cruise. So last year, just so everybody understands, it was roughly 790,000, I think. So I don't know if they're going to reach that goal. So we're going to find out about this snow and flight disruption stuff when the numbers for visitors by air comes out. Because the total, we don't know. 1.1, we don't know what the makeup of that is. We don't know if it's 300,000 by cruise ships, and then it's 800,000. So we'll see. They haven't released the numbers, I guess, by today since you just gave me that. So they gave those numbers out though, like by February 4th. It was crazy. It wasn't even 4th because now it's it was on Monday, so it was like February 2nd or something. First, they already gave it out. I was like, oh, it must have been good news. As soon as I saw it, I go, oh, it must be good news. Okay, there we go. He says dude, if it's 976. Oh, yeah, we know about in December. We keep track. I make videos every month. I've been making videos. Yeah, that was a record. But the thing is, they only did 8.8, 8.9. Let's go round up 8.9 million last year. We're still short. Like I said, you were here. We talked about this before, or maybe I hope you were, when I was talking about here's the problem. The numbers don't make sense. What I'm saying is the reason why property values are going to come down is because you have an oversupply and a large amount of people are not making money. And a large amount are not selling and they're sitting on the market, or not selling and they're sitting empty. So either way, people are going to off. And right now we have 3 instances. River Island owners haven't even gotten delivery, but since Noval allows you to do internal sales, people are in the owners group saying, I paid 159,000. I put down so far 50%, 80 grand. I'll lose 5-10 grand if you take over my contract. Give me 70 grand and pay the remaining amount. That is what people are doing at River Island. Jardine said, we're going to reduce our pre-construction prices 2,000 to 5,000. And now today, courtesy of Mo Better, here's what is on. In fact, I don't know who this is though, but look at this. Inside Vistacana, 125,500 condos reduced 10 grand. These are not temporary discounts like the special where they go, oh, it's 10,000 and they only have 3 units. No, permanent, ladies and gentlemen. Oversupply matters. It's almost like Nostradamus is struck again. All right, it's gonna happen. I told you. I know. I do understand what's going on. Yep. My entry points are low, so I'm not in rush. No, EV place, you got a great deal. I mean, even if you had to do the 60, 65, you still are in the place where you can charge for a week 360, 380 bucks, 400 bucks for a week in Los Corrales area. And as long as you get 50% occupancy, and you should be able to get it, you have a penthouse, but you got a problem because they got you in that other building instead of the building that you're supposed to own in. But nonetheless, if you're able to get that, and you should be able to get that at 50% occupancy, you're going to be making over 10% return on your money. That's what you want. So yeah, you're one of the few. You're one of the people that bought between 2018 and what I call 2023. That's where I'm cutting it off. Anybody that bought between 2018 2023, you might be good to go. Most of you will be good to go because you bought in so cheap that your rental rate's going to be 0.1%. And that means it's going to be below everybody else who bought in 2023, somewhere in 2023 at the end, and 2024 and 2025. Because those people are paying 20, 30%, 40% more. And they have nowhere to go. I mean, it's going to be very, very hard to charge. Like in this case, let's say he bought his for 60. But now people are buying a one bedroom for 150, 170K. They can't charge 170 a night or 150 a night or 140 a night. I mean, they're not going to be able to get 900, 1,000 a week on the regular. Because you can go look at Airbnb right now and go find out in Los Corrales, El Cordecito area how much people are getting for a week. And the only people that's going to be getting that type of money is going to be closer to the water. So we'll see how it works. The same building is about north side with the view and south side, which is hot and has a view of another building and stairs. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that is a thing. First of all, yeah, are you referring to the north side? So on the rise in the morning, it's heat from the morning all the way till 3, 4 in the afternoon. Um, yeah, that is a thing. That's a concern because your AC, your energy bills are expensive in the DR. So that means a person has to run their AC more often if they're facing the wrong way. Um, no, EV place. You've actually touched upon something that I talked about back then with regard to DR. I said everybody who has I railed for so long on them being late, but because of the situation now, I have said if they are late and your property is not going to be delivered till 2028, 2029, you should just be cool. Cool. Because this downturn that's going to happen is going to wipe out a lot of people. And that changes the trajectory on how many people come to visit. So you need the wipeout to occur so then people will start coming again. And I believe that'll be 20. Well, I shouldn't say again. I just mean more people needs to come. And so I think it's going to be about a 2.5 year, 2 year cycle. So if you don't have delivery till 2028 or 2029, thank your lucky stars. Because that's my opinion. Because that's going to do several things. All the people that do have their delivery, that's going to shake out everybody who has that 30% occupancy, that 20% occupancy. They're after those years go by, they're going to be like, man, why I got a mortgage? Why am I got an HOA? Why did I got to pay these fees, which are crazy? Like you got to keep on your electricity, right? If you're trying to rent it out or live there or whatever, you're going to be like, geez, man. And I think property values are going to go down. So therefore, You might have pre-construction prices at one number, but the actual people who had theirs delivered and trying to off them is going to be way lower. So then people are going to not even buy pre-construction, similar to what's happening right now in America. People are like, why am I going to buy pre-construction? That makes no sense when home prices are below your values and the home has been fixed up and everything and it's only 5 years old. So I might as well just pay 20, 30 G's less. And that's why home builders are like effed up until the Federal Reserve says we'll reduce the rate so we can give you an in-house note and bail your ass out temporarily, but actually help them because now they get to go with their new homes and say, hey, you can buy down the rate because they have a lower rate. They have like a 4.25. So all they have to do is go, hey, we'll give you a rate of 4.9. Most people jump because as soon as you get under 5, that's when people are getting in an affordability range. And so now all of a sudden, that's how they move it, move a product. So that's how it works. All right. The same buildings about north side with the view. Yeah, that's a thing. Another that's very good. I've never even mentioned that, but that is true. Depending on how your building faces matters. The same building. Okay, I did that twice. All right. I was walking inside these apartments. I can feel the difference like 20 degrees. You're right. You're right. That's not your imagination. You are exactly right. There is. And that's the difference between it being when you walk in, feeling and is like 100 and going to another spot that's like 80. Right there, the energy bill, there's a difference in the DR. Energy is expensive. You try and run your energy all day. Your bill is going to be roughly $10 a day in a one-bedroom apartment, not some villa. And these are split units I'm referring to. If you have people staying at home and you need to fill up 2 rooms all day, that's $20 a day for a one-bedroom. Just saying. So a two-bedroom, and people stay home and they're running two ACs. Mm, 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 mm. I can't even imagine what. Well, first of all, I do know what's going to happen. You're not going to have no freaking $300 bill. I'm telling you that right now. $400 bills. You're going to say, okay, this ain't going to work. That's what you're going to say. You're going to say, this ain't going to work. This ain't going to work. I am cool. I'm expecting all my property to be ready at the end of 2027, first half 2028. Yeah, EV place. I hope so, man. That'd be awesome. The other thing about that is you can also pay 0% towards your other amount owed on delivery parts. So now that gives you every now and then you could say, here's 300, here's 500, here's 1,000. It doesn't even have to be monthly payments. You can just throw extra to reduce your balance. That's going to help. But in the meantime, there's going to be pain for a lot of people, and it's going to shake out. A lot of would-be people buying to rent are going to be shaken out. They're going to be either sold or default or gone. Either way, and so that's going to shrink the pool dramatically. So those who bought in at the right price, you're going to win. And then on the other side, in 2030, 2031, the people who bought in 2024, 2025, and all that, you guys will be good. But, and even 2026. But the point is, everybody who bought 8 years ago to 3 years ago, 3 years ago, 8 years to 3 years, y'all are going to be good. Because your price is so low that you can get those rates right now at 0.1% you can charge. The 115, if that's delivered, that might be rough. A one-bedroom inside Vistacana, I don't know. Can you rent for 115, 120 a night? I don't know. I don't know. That'd be 860, 840. That's not bad for a week inside Vistacana with two man-made beaches. I mean, it's all going to be good. So we'll see how it all plays out. All I have to do is match pre-construction prices with ready units. Exactly. 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 And in fact, you're going to win because nobody, in your case, there's in your area, all the one bedrooms are 170 now. Well, they used to be. I don't know. Maybe people started going backwards, but they got up to one, like at Maple Beach right now and Los El Cordecito. The one bedrooms, it was 170 a year and a half ago. It's probably 190 now. I don't know. So that's crazy. That's crazy. I'm ready for the dip on DR. I can get 347K against my house. There you go. That's what I'm saying. Just patiently wait, man. It's already happening. People said before they didn't believe it. When I told them, I said it's going to come down, man. There's no way. You have an oversupply. Oversupply is simple. It's there's no way you can fake it. Once they have all these deliveries, which there should be another 6 grand on the island this year, that's they you're already at 31% for the island. Add 6 more thousand units, and all you're going to do is add another 30,000 people on average per month. You divide that by four, another 7,000 people, you're at a stalemate. And I'm referring to 6,000 more short term rentals, but you're not even at a stalemate because you added another 8,000 to 10,000 hotel rooms. So you're negative. So you have to add way more than 30 some thousand. You can't keep going 300 to 400,000 year after year. So, like next year can't be 9.3. 8.9 to 9.2, 9.3. Okay, so what? You broke a record, but unfortunately, you added somewhere between 12 to 15,000 units that's available for rent per week. So that ultimately means you can do the numbers. That means you need 60,000 just to break even and keep your 31% occupancy, just to break even. To get above that number, well, you're going to need double. You're going to need 30,000 a week, which is 120,000. That means you need about 1.4 million more than this year. So you would need to be at 10.3, 10.4 to get your occupancy rates up. The math is mathing, ladies and gentlemen. This is why nobody can gaslight. After you have numbers, they can't gaslight you and be like, oh, yeah, we're going to do 75% occupancy. I'm like, you're lying. You're lying. You're not going to be able to guarantee nobody 75% occupancy or 80% or 70% occupancy. That's not a thing. You're not going to be able to guarantee none of that. Because I can go to Air ROI because Eric at SS Nation gives us the real deal. We went to airroi.com, AIRROI.com. We looked at because we can click on the map and we can go search by the beach. We can go search downtown. We can go search everywhere we want to on any city, and we can pull up the Airbnb for each unit on Airbnb, and it tells us the occupancy rate. So you can't gaslight me. And also went to Price Labs. And courtesy of them, the free version, pricelabs.com, I went there and it shows 31% occupancy on the whole island of Dominican Republic. Sure, some people get 80, some people get 90s, but then there's a lot of people that get 10, 20, 10, 5% occupancy rates. That's why the average is 31% instead of 71%. Huge difference. All right, that's enough. We'll talk about this another day. I'm expecting more Americans and Canadians will be looking for a safe haven for retirement or half a year in DR cycle, more long-term opportunities. I don't. You want to know why? Because the Social Security Administration, they for some citizens, they stopped sending the money outside of the country, outside of the USA. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I told you they're tracking you. No. Social Security, government. Okay, I don't know what to really say. So I guess I should do Social Security being held up for out of country USA citizens. Yeah, that's a thing happening right now. There's expats They're complaining. They've been held up. Here we go. Social Security benefits for U.S. citizens living abroad are being suspended, primarily due to failure to submit the required foreign enforcement questionnaire. These forms are sent every 1 to 2 years to confirm eligibility, and if not returned, cause payments to stop. The SSA requires verification that citizens still meet eligibility requirements while outside the U.S. What are they talking about right now? What do you mean? How do I? What is this? What is this new stuff? What do you mean you're sending me this? If a recipient is outside the 50 states, D.C., Puerto Rico, Guam, or other U.S. territories for more than 30 consecutive days, they are considered outside the U.S. You think? What's wrong with that? To stop the hold, beneficiaries must submit the questionnaire and, if needed, contact the FBU. Benefits typically resume quickly once the form is processed. Um, while U.S. while U.S. citizens can generally receive payments abroad, hear this: some countries have restrictions. See how America is, ladies and gentlemen. Money leaving is not good. Okay. Okay, so basically, here's how it works. Basically, you just have a bank. First of all, you should not have any money leaving the United States coming from the government. That's your first wrong. The first thing you should have done is have it always go to a USA bank inside of America. Then you use other vehicles to send it outside of America, like a bank wire, but bank wires do, well, 35, $40. Okay, whatever. I'm just saying. Or again, I don't want to have nothing to do with any of these guys. That's all I'm going to try and say. This is why, again, this is why you make things simple for yourself. You use the regulated system inside of America. You upload to unregulated systems that is not in their jurisdiction, and then you download to not in their jurisdiction location. Simple. And you won't have this problem. I'm just saying. But anyhow, this is what we're dealing with out here, man. This is what we're dealing with right now. We're dealing with this crazy nonsense, man. Yeah, expats are actually how it came. I was on the expat group, Facebook, and people started talking about it. They were like, "Hey, man, I didn't get my money." Other people chimed in. They said, "Yeah, man, I didn't get my money." I was like, "What the frick's going on?" I'm like, "Well, it's no surprise to me. I already knew they're going to make it harder for USA citizens, period. Because, first of all, you guys have to understand the basics. If I live outside the United States, just like a corporation, and I run a business outside the US, that business is not part of the United States. I could make money outside the US and keep the money outside the US and never have to deal with the United States knowing anything about it. It's that simple, right? Just what the big boys do. All right. So it's in a corporation name, corporation bank account, corporation stuff. So there's nothing they can do about it. So they're sending a paper letter to someone left. Yeah, exactly. Now you're getting it. Now you're getting it. Right. Right. This is so they can withhold money. Again, our government's not what you guys think it is. I keep saying this. People keep 6 years ago, people were like, "This dude's crazy." He keeps saying that. I've lived it. Like I said, they're not your friend. They're your friend in some aspects, but they're not your friend in others. And the ones when you start trying to be independent and you're making too much money or you accumulating too much wealth and you're a nobody, all of a sudden there's people up here that go, "Wait a minute, we got to stop these guys," especially when you're trying to help people. See, it's all good if you do the solo thing. Oh yeah, charge these dudes $500 for a course, 2,000, 2,500, 10 G's. We don't care. But soon as you go, this is just help, carte blanche, and they're sitting there going, he ain't even saying, wait a minute, he's saying stuff that we don't want people to know. We don't want, back in the day, there was a lot of things they didn't want people to know, right? So now we have social media where people can find out a lot more, but people still have this one thing in their head. They act like the American government actually is not against them. And so I'm like, yeah, they're not against certain people. They're against other people. They're just not against everybody. They're against certain people. And once they're against you, then you move differently. Long as you be naive and you keep your money someplace that they can access, you'll find out one of these days that Eric was right. You're gonna be like, what do you mean I can't get my money? What do you mean? You'll see things in a different light. Then you'll too will join the resistance. You'll be like, hold on, man, I ain't letting these dudes get a hold of nothing. If I nothing, zero. I mean, I move within their system, obviously, because you got to have an ATM, you got to have a bank, I mean, come on, you got to have that. Um, Last case scenario, I will lose my estimated 800 a month. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But some of these people are getting like 3 Gs, and they're living outside, and you know they didn't get it. That's what the problem really was. These people are getting 2,500, 3,500, 3,200, and all of a sudden, and then they're calling up like and can't get any answers, and then you find out it's some paper they sent to your address in the US or sent to wherever you were, but it didn't get to you because not every place that's a cheaper location to live generally has a great postal service. So you don't get your checks, and now you're sitting there like, wait a minute, I was depending on this 3 Gs, 3,500, 27, 2,500, and now it's not coming. And now you got to fly back or do whatever. But that's just one of the things. That's just one of the things. Let's get to the other thing. How about when you're sending money out and you're sending it to like a business, which is no problem, you can wire, or you're using an offshore brokerage account. Okay, so that could get you hemmed up if they're not associated with the United States. If they're associated with the United States, then of course they don't care because it's regulated. They know where you are. They can snatch your money anytime they want. So they'll tell you to use Charles Schwab International. I'm like, no, no, not gonna happen. I was like, no. You lost your mind right now? Oh, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, let me explain something. I was born in France. And so there's rules. If I'm a USA citizen and I'm married to a French citizen, I've told people about this before. This is how crazy the US is. And this is how crazy the French EU government agreed. The USA government says, oh, we're doing an IRS audit. We need his or her information from their bank, your French bank. You need to send their info to us. We think they're doing illegal activities. The French government agreed to allow them and their banks to send info. So you would say, okay, Eric, we can understand that. Well, I don't, but okay. How about the next lever? The French citizen, even though you don't have a joint bank account, the fact that you're married to a USA citizen, United States gets to check your accounts and extract money from your account. How do you like that one? That's in effect right now with 200 countries. 200 countries signed up and said, okay, America, we'll allow that. You guys getting the picture yet? Okay, get the picture. Right? All right, let's go. I'm wrapping it up. 2 hours and 50 minutes. We're almost here, 3 hours. The boom in the stock market means you need to be in it, ladies and gentlemen. You still have another year run. Best case scenario. So get the profits while you can. Do not delay. Get in and don't play. I gave you some tools. I know, Eric. I'm from Europe also. Yep, exactly. It's crazy what the US is going around intimidating the rest of the world with. Do this or we cut you off from United States banking. And now Swift and everything else, right? So it's crazy out here. That's why BRICS said, hey, we need BRICS, man. We got to do something. Hey, China, please join us. Will you start something out there that we can use? Because we're tired of these guys doing financial harm to our country and making us deal with their citizens when they come visit. What the hell? I mean, it's serious out here, ladies and gentlemen. It's serious. You guys have no idea what is going on. When you start getting around, moving around, doing all kind of stuff outside the US, you are like, oh, oh, you're like, this can't be really happening, is it? So again, now you understand why I say the Bancus and why you understand I use CoinX. Like I said, yeah, I send money up, but I send money out to some other location. Simple. All right. Not trackable because they use a different wallet to send their crypto. So it's not trackable. It's random. So again, you can move money outside the US or inside the US. So we move money inside the US and outside the US. Simple. Just like a corporation. In fact, my social security number means I am a corporation because the United States is a corporation, ladies and gentlemen. You're a subsidiary and you send some of your profits up, form of the IRS. Hopefully that's clear for you now. All right, we're out. And with all that said, I love you guys very much. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here. And that's why it's only going to get harder, but you got to make more money regardless of how hard it gets. By any means necessary, except theft, fraud, don't do that. But anything that you can make investments in, passive income, dividend stocks, anything, business, anything, bizbuysell.com. Go there, scour. There's going to be people saying, take it, send me a check, and here's how much money it makes right now. So that's why I know you can give me this check every month. I'm out. You owe me this X amount. We'll sign a contract, but you can pay me monthly. We'll deal with it. But I'm out. Just think about it. Okay? Yes, I know the red on the back is your bank. Ah, oh, the true driller. I found my bank. It's in Chicago, full of mills, but we have to fight for that. Yeah, man, that's a long battle. A few people might get through, but they pretty much blocked, man. You're blocked. You're blocked. You know why? They've already used it. they've already used. First of all, they've already used it, and not only that, they've already pledged it. They borrowed against it, and they have no money. We're broke. So, yeah, I've heard about what you're saying, man. Avalon has Chase account in Texas. When I'm paying for villas, I'm using Zelle. There you go. Yep. Yep. I'm glad a lot of companies in DR did that. I'm glad they did because that allowed people not, well, I mean, let's get real. If you had Navy Federal and you do it online, it was only $25. So, but I do get your point. The Zelle thing works too. So, yeah, I was kind of like, I was like, I'm not going to, but yeah, I like that. So, Seven Palms also uses a Bank of America in the US. So that was very smart. But you know who's smarter? Is it Noval? I think it was Noval. Let me go check. I think Noval is smart. You know why? They allow people to use their debit and credit cards to make payments. Is that sick or what? I was like, oh, this is cool. I think it's Noval. Or it was Noriega. It's either Noval or Noriega. And I was like, why doesn't everybody just do that? Debit card with the Visa logo, MasterCard logo. What's the problem? Right? It's done. And you have a record instantly. And I'm surprised more people didn't do that. Yeah, I don't mean 20. It's more about not being in international transfer. Yeah, I know what you mean. Zelle is in USA only. So that's a good move. Like I was saying, yeah, it's a good move. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I like it. There's only a few companies that in the DR that did that. And I'm like, why wouldn't all of you guys do this? This makes no sense. I know there's a fee probably they're charging in the DR. Well, they still have to transfer it maybe, but it is what it is. Maybe they get a special deal, right? But and maybe they don't have a cap. Maybe they have 100,000 that they can transfer for 25, 30 bucks. So that would make sense. So we'll see what happens. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap this up. All right. I want to thank everybody for being here this evening. And like I said, thank you so much for the donations, the True Trill. I appreciate it. I humbly appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. EV Place, being a member of the channel. We have memberships now. Thank you so much for that and for your participation, everyone. And I'll see you on Monday at 8:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure whatever you do, you stay safe out here. And no matter what, you always keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.